Ka-enjoy kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na ito. Manglambing po kami sa iyo na i-subscribe ang aming channel para masundan nyo pa ang mga videos na aming gagawin. Dahil pangako namin lahat ng aming makitang mga maganda ipapakita namin sa inyo, at lahat ng kwento sa ating kasaysayan pag-usapan natin sa channel na ito. Sana ma-enjoy mo to. Museo ng Paglilitis. Good morning mga ka-enjoy. Good morning Maragondon, Cavite. And good morning sa lahat ng mga Pilipino sa buong mundo. Mga ka-enjoy, nandito tayo ngayon sa Bonifacio Trial House. Ang bahay nito pag-aari ng pamilyang Reyes, Teodorico Reyes. At dito nilitis ang magkapatid na Procopio at Andres Bonifacio. And kailangan mo nang mag-login dito bago tayo makapag-ikot. And ikutin natin yung buong malaking bahay po ito. Ikutin natin tong lahat ng nakasulat dito para may pakita sa inyo ano yung mga nilalaman sa lugar na ito. Bayan ng hamong ibango ng isang bayang malaya. Ang una, sa Asya may isang nagngangalang Andres Bonifacio ang bumuhay sa kanilang loob na harapin ang hamong ito alang-alang sa mga susunod sa kanila. Andres Bonifacio. Si May Pag-asa at si Lacambini. Pag-asa, Hope and Lacambini News. Labing-walong taong gulang noon si Oryang nang suyuin siya ni Andres, kasama ni Andres sa panliligaw ang bayaw nitong si Ladislao Diwa at ang pinsan ni Oryang na si Teodoro Plata. Pawang mga kasamahan nito sa katipunan. Nahulog ang loob ni Oryang kay Andres, ngunit tutol ang mga magulang niya kay Andres dahil sa pagiging mason nito. Hindi napigilan ang dalawa at sa pag-ibigan at walang nagawa ang mga magulang ni Oryang. Nagpakasal sila sa simbahan ng Binondo noong Marso 1893. Ang Cavite bilang puok ng liberalismo. Bukod sa pagkakahawig sa topografiya at pagiging daungan, nabansagan ang Cavite bilang El Cadiz Filipino, ang Cadiz ng Pilipinas. Dahil sa liberalismo rito na tulad ng Cadiz, isang daungan syudad na Espanyol at tanyang bilang puok ng liberalismo sa Espanya. Sa loob ng 2 siglo, naging daungan ang Cavite Nuevo o puerto ng mga barkong galyon, dahilan upang malantad ang Cavite sa liberalismong popular noong ika-19 na siglo. Sa katunayan, sa Cavite El Viejo, Kawit, tinatag ang Logia Primia Los Filipinas, ang unang lohiyang mason sa Pilipinas noong 1856. Katipunan sa Cavite. Nakatipunan in Cavite. At the outbreak of the revolution, Cavite had 16 Katipunan Council, which of two stood out, the Magdiwang of Nobilita and the Magdalo of Kawit. Through its assiduous effort, the Magdalo expanded to Batangas and there established 2 more branches, the Taliba in Talisay and Matalinog in Bayuyungan. Santiago Alvarez, Pascual Alvarez. Pagtatag ng balangay ng Magdiwang, establishment of the Magdiwang. The Magdiwang was founded on 2 April 1896 in Nobilita in a formal ceremony witnessed by Andres Bonifacio Pio Valenzuela and Emilio Jacinto as official of the Supreme Council of the Katipunan. The following were elected as the first Magdiwang official: President Santiago Alvarez Apoy, Secretary Pascual Alvarez Bagong Buhay, Piskal Valentin Salud Mabalasik, Treasurer Dionisio Alvarez Mabuti. Pagtatag ng Balangay Magdalo, establishment of Magdalo. The following day, the Magdalo was founded in Kawit, witnessed to by Bonifacio Valenzuela Jacinto, together with Pantaleon Torres, elected as officer of the Magdalo were President Emilio Aguinaldo, Secretary Baldomiro Aguinaldo, Piskal Silvestre Legaspi, Treasurer Candido Tria Terona. Aguinaldo, Baldomero Aguinaldo, Candido Tria Terona. Papel ng Cavite sa umpisa ng himagsikan. The role of Cavite in the start of the revolution. Cavite complied with the agreed upon date of simultaneous uprising against Spain in August 31, 1896 in response to Bonifacio's appeal on August 26, 1896 as Hagdang Bato, Mandaluyong. The Magdiwang liberated San Francisco de Malabon and Novelita, which was followed by victory of the Magdalo in Kawit. The revolutionaries captured the other Cavite towns and successfully penetrated Batangas. This later 4 months, Cavite lived under freedom. Ang pagsalubong ng Cavite kay Bonifacio. Cavite welcomes Bonifacio. This was how Bonifacio proudly noted the warm reception he received when he visited the towns of Cavite upon the invitation of local leaders in Novelita. For example, the thick crowds welcomed him, shouting, "Long live the Supremo." Bonifacio replied, "Long live the motherland." Yet several months later, Bonifacio was removed as leader of the revolution. Andres Bonifacio later to the Supreme Council of the North, 12 December 1896, Archivo General Militar de Madrid, League 1.120. Our association is honored to inform you that I have been the reason for huge celebration in every town I visited. April 15, 1897, to demonstrate his authority, Bonifacio appointed Emilio Jacinto as Chief General of the North, Manila, Bulacan, Morong, and Nueva Ecija. In response, Aguinaldo organized the Batangas Revolutionary Government in Indang, Cavite. Bonifacio nullified Aguinaldo's organization of the Cavite Revolutionary Government except for Diego Mojica, Santos Nocon, Artemio Ricarte, and Silvestre Domingo. April 19, 1897, Bonifacio met the 45 high-ranking officials of the Revolutionary Army in the Prior State House in Naik to ratify the agreement strengthening the solidarity of the armed forces. This was the Act of Naik. General Pio del Pilar was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. March 23, 1897. The Imos revolutionaries organized the oath-taking of Aguinaldo and elected officials and Tejeros at the convent of the Santa Cruz de Malabon, Tanza, Cavite. Despite the nullification of the election by Bonifacio, meanwhile, Bonifacio called for a meeting in Tejeros to sign the official minutes that nullified the election owing to alleged fraud. Act of the Heroes. April 1897, Bonifacio and his men in Tanza arrested the Spanish prisoner freed by Aguinaldo and imprisoned them in Naik along with Aguinaldo's men. Aguinaldo learned about the incident, hastily proceeded to Naik and freed the prisoners. This incident carried a strong message to the leaders, defying each other. December 1896, Pasiano Jose Rizal, older brother, arrived in Imus and discouraged Bonifacio and Aguinaldo from their plan to save Rizal in Bagumbayan because Rizal wanted no more deaths. Actually, Bonifacio initially opposed Aguinaldo's plan. According to Aguinaldo, the Supremo said that Dr. Jose Rizal was against the revolution we are waging. 29 December 1896, the Magdiwang and Magdalo meet in the Prior State House in Imus to discuss the merger of the two in response to the reported attack of Cavite by a large Spanish forces. The meeting agenda was, however, changed when General Baldomero Aguinaldo, president of Magdalo, proposed the establishment of a revolutionary government. The meeting adjourned without any resolution. December 29. March 22, 1887, the Magdiwang and Magdalo meet again, this time in Tejeros Prior State House to discuss the defense of Cavite, but the meeting ended up creating a new revolutionary government in place of the Katipunan. Bonifacio followed the will of the attendees and an election took place. Aguinaldo won as president in absentia and Bonifacio as director of interior. Terora, however, questioned Bonifacio's election as the latter was not a lawyer, asserting that the only person with education ought to occupy the position. Bonifacio then declared the election null and void. December 17, 1896. Andres Bonifacio and his party arrived in Cavite. Emilio Aguinaldo met them in Sapote, then engaged in battle and transferred them to the house of Don Juan Castañeda in Imus, Cavite. December 18, 1896. Officials of the Magdiwang and Magdalo councils visited Bonifacio. Bonifacio was embarrassed when no one responded to his order to arrest General Vicente Fernandez of Laguna, whom he blamed for the Katipunan's defeat in San Juan del Monte. From Imus, Bonifacio visited several more towns like Novelita, where a thick crowd welcoming him, shouting, "Long live the Supremo." Bonifacio replied, "Long live the motherland." The Magdalos leader did not appreciate what they perceived as Bonifacio's kingly action. December 26, 1896, stories destroying Bonifacio's reputation circulated in Cavite, such as his alleged plunder of Katipunan copper, that his sister was a mistress of Tondo Prior, that he was Mason who did not believe in God, that he was uneducated and was a mere warehouseman, and that only God has the right to be called supreme. Huling bahagi ng December 1896. Last part of December 1896. General Edelberto Evangelista, Vice President of the Magdalo, visited Bonifacio in his residence at Colonel Santos Nocon house in San Francisco de Malabon. Evangelista presented to the Supremo a constitutional program for a revolutionary government. Bonifacio, however, rejected this, stating that he was merely a copy of the Maura Law of 1893. Ang paglilitis kay Andres Bonifacio, the trials of Andres Bonifacio. Okasyon ng planong pagpatay kay Aguinaldo, alleged plot to assassinate Aguinaldo. Okasyon ng pagpatalsik ng pamalaan ni Aguinaldo. Akusasyong pagpapasimula ng labanan sa Limbon. Accusation of perpetrating the hostilities of Limbon. Fortified with overthrow of Aguinaldo government. Alleged plot of assassination of Aguinaldo. Mga ka-enjoy, sa sunod na episode ating pag-usapan ang paglilitis sa magkakapatid. Sa ngayon, ito lang muna kung ano yung laman sa loob ng The Trial House. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panunood. God bless and more power. Shout out nga pala kay Sir Kevin Septimo